Come to page number 12.11 of the textbook. Problem number 4. On 1st January 2012, Singh had 20,000 equity shares in X Limited. Face value of the shares was 10 rupees each, but their book value was 16 per share. On 1st June 2012, Singh purchased 5,000 more equity shares in the company at a premium of 4 per share. So let us read the problem and note down the points carefully. On 1st January, Singh had how many shares? 20,000 equity shares. Face value of the share was 10, but book value was 16 per share. That means he had spent 16 rupees to buy those shares. On 1st June 2012, Singh purchased 5,000 more equity shares in the company at a premium of 4 per share. So on 1st June during the year, Singh has purchased 5,000 more equity shares in the company at a premium of 4 per share. That means he has paid 10 plus 4, 14 rupees he has paid to buy those shares. On 30th June 2012, the directors of X Limited announced both a bonus and a rights issue. Bonus was declared at the rate of 1 equity share for every 5 shares held. So bonus issue is 1:5. For 5 shares held, you are going to receive 1 bonus share. Please tell me, on the date of declaration of bonus shares, how many shares are held by Mr. Singh? First of all, 20 plus 5. He is holding 25,000 shares. 25,000 by 5 into 1. So he is going to receive 5,000 shares as bonus shares. And the shares were received on 2nd August 2012 for Phukat, free. Next, the terms of the rights issue were rights shares to be issued to the existing holders on 10th August 2012. So whoever is holding shares on 10th August, including bonus shares, he will get rights shares. Rights issue would entitle the holders to subscribe to additional equity share in the company at the rate of 1 share per every 3 held at 15 per share. The whole sum being payable by 30th September 2012. Now, before we continue, tell me, on 10th August, what is the total shareholding of Mr. Singh? 20,000 initially, 5,000 purchase, 5,000 bonus. This is holding totally 30,000 shares. So, how many rights shares will be entitled to buy from the company? Rights issue would entitle the holders to subscribe to additionally 1 equity share in the company at the rate of 1 share for every 3 held. So 30,000 divided by 3 is going to get the right to purchase 10,000 shares in the company. The whole sum being payable by 30th September 2012. So whatever amount you have to pay by 30th September. So either you are going to renounce or you are going to buy the shares. Existing holders may, to the extent of their entitlement, either wholly or in part, transfer their rights to outsiders. So Mr. Singh, what he can do, he has 2 options. Either subscribe for all the shares or sell away the shares to an outsider. Singh exercised his option under the issue for 50% of his entitlement. So what Mr. Singh has done, half of the rights he has exercised. That means he has paid money to the company and purchased the shares. For remaining half, what he has done? And the balance of the rights he sold to Anand for a consideration of 1.50 per share. So half of the entitlement he has sold, half of the rights he has exercised. Dividends for the year ended 31st March 2012 at the rate of 15% were declared by the company and received by Singh on 20th October 2012. So before we go to that, how will you deal with the amount Mr. Singh has received by sale of the rights? 5,000 rights he has sold to Mr. Anand. For what price? 1.5 per share. So how much he would have received? 5,000 into 1.5. 7,500. Now there are 2 treatments possible. One, credited to profit and loss account. Second treatment, reduce it from cost of investment. The institute, in their material, they have assumed we are receiving right share because of a recent cum rights purchase, and whatever amount is received from sale of a cum right purchase should be credited to the investment account. They have even assumed that the market value of the share, once it becomes X right, has fallen below the value when you can say the X rights value is below the cum rights value, and the entire amount which you have received from sale of rights should be credited to the investment account. So they have assumed that the rights share were received because of a recent cum right purchase, and they have also assumed that once the share has become X right, the value has reduced. So whatever money has been received, it has been credited to investment account to reduce the cost. Alternatively, what you could have done, you could have transferred it to the profit and loss account. It would not affect the cost of the investment. Dividends for the year ended 31st March 2012 at the rate of 15% were declared by the company and received by Singh on 20th October 2012. Dividends for the year ended 31st March 2012 at the rate of 15% were declared by the company and received by Singh on 20th October 2012. Now my question is, Singh is holding how many shares on this date, can you tell me? 20,000 originally purchased, 5,000 purchased later on, then received 5,000 bonus shares, then purchased 5,000 right shares. Bonus shares and right shares were not existing on 31st March 12. They are existing on the date of receipt, but they were not even, we can say, alive when the profits were earned. Now company is declaring dividends for which year? 31st March 2012. On that date, bonus shares and right shares were not existing. So Singh will receive dividend only on the original holding plus the shares he has purchased. Okay. Out of that, some amount will be post, some amount will be pre. On 1st November 2012, Singh sold 20,000 equity shares at a premium of 3 per share. On market price of the share, the market price of the share on 31st December 2012 was 13. So the investment account as it would appear in Singh's books of account on 31st December 2012 and the value of shares held on that date. So they are asking us to prepare investment account in the books of Mr. Singh. Can you do it? Let's start. No, but see, it is normally declared on paid up capital at the end of the year for which you are paying dividends. It's not on the paid up capital which is there on the date you are declaring dividends. Dividend will be declared. Dividend will be declared as a percentage of paid up capital. Percentage of paid up capital on what date? On the last date of the financial year in which for which you are declaring dividends. See, if capital was not used during that period, how will you pay dividend on that? See, dividend will be paid on capital used for earning it, no? Bonus shares and right shares, you cannot declare dividend. Because the shares were not existing on that day, first time. New purchase also, they declare dividend. For you it is a new purchase, for company it is an existing share. So to make you understand, Raunak, I will involve you in the exam. Till 31st March you held to the shares. You were the holder of shares. If you held on to the shares till the date of declaration of dividend, you will receive dividend. But you did not have patience. You sold the shares to me. So who will get the dividend? I will get the dividend. But the capital was used by the company when the profits were earned. Dividend will come to me because on the date of declaring dividend, I am the shareholder. But you had held to the shares when the profits were earned. This is the last problem I am going to do on investment in shares of a company. Hence, listen very carefully. Okay. Now I have forgotten investment account. So whatever you say, I will write on the board. I know we have to prepare an investment account. So I have prepared a T format. Tell me the title. Very good. Absolutely right. We should write first of all debit and credit. Next. Investment account, 1 month gone. Investment in shares of What is the name of the company? X Limited. Account. Particulars. Date of the very good. Date also. Date. Particulars. Number of shares. Amount. So what is dividend column? Dividend account. Dividend column represents dividend account. Next year, date. Particulars. Very good. Number of shares. Amount. Dividend. Okay. Sometimes my memory keeps coming back. So we are preparing investment account starting on what date, ending on what date? Starts on 1st January, ends on 31st December 2012. So tell me, what is the first item you should write in the investment account? Opening balance. How should I write? Date I should write something here. 1-1. Okay. What should I write here? 2 balance brought down. How many shares? 20,000 shares. Purchased at a cost of how much? 16. So amount? 20,000. Dividend L. Next, after that, please tell me. On 1st June 2012, Singh purchased 5,000 more equity shares in the company at a premium of 4 per share. Loudly tell me the entry. What is entry right? Investment in shares of X Limited account debtor to bank account. How much I should write the number of shares column? 5,000. Amount column? 70,000. How 70,000? 5,000 into 14. Next, on 30th June 2012, directors of X Limited announced a bonus and a rights issue. Bonus was declared at the rate of 1 equity share for every 5 shares held, and these shares were received on 2nd August 2012. So on 2nd August we are receiving bonus shares now. How many bonus shares will we receive? 25,000 divided by 5 into 1. 5,000 bonus shares. On what date? 2nd August. Bonus shares. 5,000 shares. Don't write forget. शरद पवार खेल खत्म नो खेल खत्म Let's continue. Right shares. The terms of rights issue were right share to be issued to the existing holders on 10th August 2012. So please tell me, on 10th August, how many shares are held by Mr. Singh? 30,000. And how many right shares will he receive? See point number B. Right shares would entitle the holders to subscribe to additional equity shares in the company at the rate of 1 equity share for every 3 held at 15 per share. The whole sum being payable by 30th September 2012. Existing holders may, to extent of their entitlement, either wholly or in part, transfer the rights to outsiders. First of all, tell me, what is the entitlement of Mr. Singh? Ronak, stop talking. Tell me, how many right shares will be received? 30,000 divided by 3 into 1. It is 10,000 shares. Now, out of that, how many shares Mr. Singh has purchased? Singh exercised option under the issue for 50% of his entitlement, and the balance of rights he sold to Anand for a consideration of 1.5 per share. So 5,000 into 1.5 he sold, and 5,000 into 15 he has paid to the company to buy the right shares. So let us go with purchase first, then we'll discuss sale next. Okay. So when did he purchase the share? On 30th September. When you purchase right shares, please tell me what is the entry you pass? Investment account, debtor to bank account. How many right shares you bought? 5,000. Value? 75,000 rupees. Why do people start parallel coaching classes in the classes? Don't start that. We are already having a lot of competition. Don't create competition in the classroom again. Okay, so we have now sold how many shares now in the market? 5,000 shares to Anand at the rate of how much? 1.5. So on your calculator do it. 5,000 into 1.5. 7,500. According to me, correct treatment is you should credit it to profit and loss account. But institute says assume that the right shares were received because of a recent term right purchase, and the amount received should be credited to the investment account. Okay, so we'll credit the amount to the investment account, reduce it from cost of investment. When did we sell? Is the date given? 30th September. By bank. Don't write anything in the number of shares column. Dividend column nil.
Sir, an exam they will give, sir, what the institute is.
You write your own assumption. You have to write your own assumption. If I tell you institute is wrong now and credited to P&L account, will you agree?
Yes, sir.
You will say textbook 7,500 is credited to investment account. Why are you telling me to credit to P&L account? Okay, that is why I have told you both the options. Paid pe chada raha. Next, see point number E now. Dividends for the year ended 31st March 2012 at the rate of 15% were declared by the company and received by Singh on 20th October 2012. Now look at the board. Singh has so many shares, 20,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Please tell me, when did these shares come into existence? On 20th August. These shares were not existing on 31st March. Company will not pay you dividends on these shares. When did these shares come into existence? On 30th September. So these shares were also not existing on the last date of the last financial year. What was the last date of the last financial year? 31st March. So these two shares will not be entitled to dividend. But both these shares, this group of shares and this group of shares were existing on the last balance sheet date of the investee company. You will receive dividends on 25,000 shares. Okay. How to deal with that? Working note. Write down. Go on and write like this. Bonus shares 5,000, no dividends. Why no dividends? They were not in existence on 31st March 2012. Rights shares 5,000, no dividends. Other shares, how many? 25,000. Dividends, how much dividend will you receive? 25,000. 25,000 is the number of shares, face value is 10. Dividends are always expressed as a percentage on paid up capital. Paid up capital is 25,000 into 10. The face value of the investment is 25,000 into 10, 2,50,000. Into what is the rate of dividend? 15%. How much is it? 37,500 is the dividends on these 25,000 shares. But here divided into two parts. On 20,000 shares post acquisition, on 5,000 shares pre acquisition. $20,000 into 10 into 15%. How much will it be? 30,000. 5,000 into 10 into 15%. 7,500. Credit to dividend account. Credit to investment account. See, you have received dividends on 25,000 shares. I have received dividends on 25,000 shares because on the date when the company declared dividends, I was holding 25,000 shares. On the date when the company prepared the list of shareholders to whom they have to pay dividend, I was a member in that list. So I received dividend. But when the profits were earned for 20,000 shares, I was a shareholder. For 5,000 shares, I was not a shareholder in the company. I may have received dividends for 25,000 shares. But out of those 25,000 shares, only for 20,000 shares I was a shareholder on 31st March. But these 5,000 shares were purchased by me in the month of June. That is after the profits have been earned. So on these shares, dividends are declared out of profits when I was a shareholder. On these shares, I am receiving dividends out of profits which were earned before I invested money in the company. This is pre, this is post. Credit to P&L, credit to dividend account, credit to P&L, credit to investment account. Yesterday we have already done a similar problem. What is the entry you write when you receive dividend, post acquisition dividend? Bank account, debtor to dividend income account. What is the date of receiving the dividend? 20th October. Dividend account, how much amount? 30,000. Pre-acquisition dividend, what is the entry you write? Bank account, debtor to investment account. It has to reduce the cost price of investment. You should credit it to investment account, 7,500. Pre is credited to investment account. Post is credited to dividend account. Next, bit number F. On 1st November 2012, Singh sold 20,000 equity shares at a premium of 3 per share. Face value of the share is 10. Now Singh is selling the share for 10 plus 3, 13 rupees per share. So 20,000 into 13, how much do you get? 20,000 into 13, it is 2,60,000 rupees. So now Singh is selling the shares. What is the entry you write when you sell the shares? Bank account, debtor to investment account. What is the date? 1st November. By bank. How much is it?
2,60,000.
Immediately what should we do? We should try to calculate the profit or loss on sale of investment. For doing that we need the average cost of the shares sold. So let us prepare a working note. Average cost of particulars, number of shares, cost, opening balance 20,000 shares, 3,20,000 rupees. 1st June purchases 5,000, 70,000 rupees. 2nd August bonus 5,000 nil. 30th September rights issue, rights shares purchased 5,000, 75,000. 30th September rights sold 7,500 reduced from cost. 20th October pre-acquisition dividend 7,500. Total number of shares is 35,000. Net cost 4,50,000. Average cost how much is it? 12.85 per share. $12.85 per share. Total average cost of shares sold. How much? 20,000 into 12.85. How much is it? 2,57,000. 2,57,000. Profit or loss on sale. Sale proceeds 2,60,000 less average cost 2,57,000. Profit 3,000. What is entry right for profit now? Investment in shares of X Limited account at R2, profit and loss account. We completed. Now, valuation of closing balance of investments. Please tell me how many shares are left with us? Out of 35, we have sold 20,000 shares. So we are left with 15,000 shares. Can I rub this part now? Can I rub this part? Average cost of shares sold Write down valuation of closing balance. Average cost 15,000 at the rate 12.85. How much is it? Market value or fair value? 15,000 into 13.
Yes, sir.
1,95,000. Whichever is less. Suppose fair value is lower than cost. What will you do then? You will take the fair value. In such a case, you have to write off a portion of the cost by transferring it to the profit and loss account. Okay. December 12, buy balance carried down. This 15,000 shares, 1,92,750. Now after doing this, no, investment account will tally 35,000 shares. 35,000 shares. Check whether the amount columns are tallying or not. They should tally. 390, 465, 468. Normally it should tally 4,68,000. The difference is due to rounding off. Then you should have said, told me 12.85. Leave now. Difference is only coming because average cost is based on approximate figure, not the exact figure. Dividend account 30,000. Transfer it to P&L account. To P&L account 30,000 balancing figure. Suppose, listen to me. Cost price of shares purchased, closing balance is 1 lakh. Cost price of closing balance is 1 lakh, but fair value is 95,000. It is a current investment. So it is cost or fair value, whichever is lower. So cost 1 lakh, you have spent 1 lakh, but you have to now show it at 95,000. So if you write 95,000 there, automatically you have to recognize a loss of 5,000. It will be transferred to the profit and loss account. Next year, you should not compare carrying amount with the fair value. It should be cost again with fair value. And you have to adjust the book one based on that. Now, open your practice manual now.